This video is called Animals. I've been blessed throughout my life to have several different pets. I've had a dog, well, I've had a family dog actually growing up, and then I've had a wee dog of my own who I had to the age of 18, and then a little budgie who I adopted. My dad's currently got a wee cat that he's adopted. But I feel like animals, animals just are basically, they're angelic in their own right. They bring in messages from the angels. They bring in unconditional love. They love you no matter what. They'll know if something is wrong with you, because they'll come and sit in your lap, or they'll just snuggle in with you if you're upset, even if you haven't told another person. They're very tuned in, wise beings, much more wiser than anybody anticipates here in this earth plane. And you notice animals just take things in their stride. They know that all their needs are going to be met. Some animals on the planet's needs are not met, but that's where my infinity love circle comes in, where it's sending love to humanity and the greater good of all. And I feel that if we see that all animals' needs are met, and that they're not eaten, that they're treated with uttermost respect, the respect that they deserve. In some countries, certain animals are worshipped because of their energetic properties and because of who they are. And I feel, and I'm aware that as I connect in with the white lions, they're in South Africa, that they live in an energetic porthole, and they are the messages from the angels and the star beings and Andromeda, and they're very, very highly evolved souls. And I know one day that I will be with them. I'm with them when I meditate. They're with me all the time, giving me strength and courage to go on. You get animal spirit guides. I've had many. I have got a black panther who comes in and offers me protection, and I'm aware of him. I've seen him before. I've seen him in many aspects. Much to the amusement of my husband. I'm always in tune with animals. I love to chat to them if I'm out on a walk. There is that bond that an animal brings you. If there's a time in your life when you're maybe on your own, or you're going through some sort of turmoil, that animal will walk with you until you've healed that aspect of yourself. Until it's your time to leave or their time to leave, either energetically to transition, or they maybe move on as their work is done with you. I feel as if the more we flow and the more we live in joy and the more unconditional love we give to ourselves, then that unconditional love will be brought to us. And just watch out where an animal chooses you in your life, where it maybe just turns up. I remember a funny little story. One day I was out shopping with my husband. We drew up in the car, and there was this little cat. Oh, it was many years ago. It was on my wall outside my house. So I started speaking to him and saying how nice it was to meet him, and started stroking him, and here his owner arrived, and she went, "How did Harry get here?" Well, Harry's my dad's name and my great nephew. Well, me and my husband went into hysterics. She said, "He's in his last legs, and how did he get away around here? He stays streets away." I said, "Well, I've never met Harry before. I don't know how he got here." I says, "But the only thing I can say is, I don't know if I told her I did healing. I did healing with animals and Reiki and angel healing and all that. So I said, I can only think that he's maybe came here to get some comfort and relief." I mean, when you think about it, I've got a great big long street, goes on forever. Why would he turn up at my house? he knew where to come to get what he needed. And I know that animals know when you're on your way home. Nobody's texted them or phoned them, told them that you're coming home. They just arrive home. And I've tried to explain to my dad, when we were going on holiday in August, he didn't need to ask my sister to watch his pet his wee adopted cat, because he would just need to tell the cat when he was going away, and she would find somebody else to go, and she would come back when he come back without him having to tell him. And my dad thought this was hysterically funny. He wouldn't really listen to me. But that's true, that's what happens, especially with cats. You can't really do that with a dog. You need to really either take them with you, get them to somebody to look after you, and that would be for a lot of pets. But cats are very, they would be fine. Well, this little cat actually lives a couple of streets away that my dad's adopted, so she would go back to where she originally stayed, and get fed and watered and come back to my dad. But he was frightened she wouldn't come back at all. So he got my sister to look after her while we were away on holiday. I feel that's all I want to share, but I'm sure everybody's got their own stories about how animals have turned up in their life. Or maybe you've seen an animal. A really good tip is, if you're out a walk or you're out somewhere, or maybe your friends or wherever you'd be, you maybe be on holiday and an animal just shows up in your life, look that up, look up the message from whatever the animal is, or your animal power, your power animal. It's really, really awful interesting. One night I was actually going to my work. I've never actually seen a live badger. I've seen them in TV, and I was going to my work, which is really deep in the heart of nature. And I'd on my full beam because I was right in the country. It's pitch black. So I'd on my full beam and I was going down the hill really slow. The next thing, this massive, I've never seen one in, well, I've never seen one live, but I didn't realise they were so big. This massive, quite broad and long badger. Oh my goodness, I had to slam on the brakes, but I was absolutely amazed. I felt really, really pleased that this badger had showed up in my life. And it was just stood and stared at me, and then it went away. But going to my work, I've met deers have ran alongside me, owls, you hear the owls through the night. What else have I seen? No geese, peacocks, grouse. So I've had magpies chirping in the window. Actually, that's happened when I worked at a house really up the hill, and it was just before my big cousin passed away, and I didn't know. I knew he wasn't well, but this magpie came and chapped on the door, the glass door, and the girl I was working with went outside and said, "Do you not believe?" No, she pulled the blind up, and she said, "You'll not believe this. It's a magpie chapping at the window, chapping at the door." Sorry. And that, I think it was that night or 2 nights later or something like that, my big cousin Jim died, Jim Mitchell, and I felt the magpie was chapping to let me know it was his time. It was extremely sad. And this picture here behind, I'd actually ordered this picture with the angel wings. My dad had asked me that year what I wanted for my Christmas, and I said I would like this picture. And I paid for the picture. There was a wee bit of, I think there was a wee bit of confusion with the picture actually. Anyway, I paid for the picture, and I got word that day that my cousin had died, and he was awful young. I think he would maybe be just 50 if he was lucky, or turning 50. And myself and my dad was able to go a long walk then, and we went away up by Crawfordland. It was actually quite a funny walk. We were out and we were talking about him and talking about the family, my mum growing up and the family holidays we used to go, and we were talking about Jim, and I think we get word before we went out that he died, or was it when we come back? I couldn't remember, but anyway, it was that day. And I came home and that parcel, this picture, was sitting on my doorstep, and it wasn't supposed to come that day. And I unpacked it, and it's very special to me. Because Jim was a lovely person. I'll just leave that with you, thank you.